Hello everybody. I am going to give you an update on my VR RPG that I am developing for the Oculus Quest 2. It should also support Quest 1 and PC VR, but I'm trying to develop natively for Quest. So this is my project so far. It's not a whole lot, just a blank level with just one bare asset created, as well as whatever other blank level content comes included normally. We also have our character and our game mode. So that is the majority of, or that's pretty much everything we have right now other than the map itself. And before I go through and show you all the blueprints or anything, what I've done, I'm going to show you the project settings that I have and the plugins I have enabled. So for my project settings, my current map is that blank map that I created. I do have my game mode set as the game mode I created, and it is supporting Android and Windows 64-bit, targeting mobile/tablet for VR development, and it's in scalable 3D or 2D. There are currently only 4 inputs: the motion controller left thumbstick X and Y, and the right thumbstick X and Y, which I have mapped to the left thumbstick, which is, this is the left and right, forward and backward. I also have keyboard shortcuts I can test without using the VR helmet. And then I have the right thumbstick matched to the right thumbstick, and using mouse X and Y for that as well. Next, I have the rendering properties, which on mobile it's set to 2, and then 4 times MSAA. And then if I go down here to the VR section, I've disabled mobile HDR, instant stereo. I'm not sure if it's necessary to have it or not, but it works fine either way. So I don't really know what the difference is there. The next thing I have set up is, of course, the Android support. It's building to Android. I've set up the minimum SDK version as 23, target as 25. I've enabled the packaging the game inside an APK file. I've set to where it has the full screen immersive on KitKat and above devices. I think that comes default that way now. It used to not to, I guess. I've enabled ARM v7 and ARM 64 support for compatibility with the OpenGL ES 3.1. I haven't tried Vulkan and don't know if I really want to, but it might run better. I don't know. I've added package for Oculus mobile devices, and I added 2 array elements. You got the Quest 2 and the Quest 1. The Quest 1 is a lot less powerful compared to the Quest 2. The Quest 1 was developed essentially with the same processor as what was used in the Oculus Go, which is the same processor that was used in the Galaxy S8 with the Gear VR, the Snapdragon 835. That was way out of date by the time the first Quest came out by 2 years, and 2 years on it's even more out of date. Whereas the Quest 2 is running the XR2 Snapdragon platform from Qualcomm, which is based off of the Snapdragon 865, which is now a 2-year-old, or no, it's a 1-year-old processor now, but it's a very powerful, capable processor. The 855 and 855 Plus that came before it are still regarded as pretty high-end mobile processors, And the 865 just took that up a notch. And we're expected to probably see a Quest Pro or Quest 3 that's based on the next version of the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR platform, which will be based on the Snapdragon 888 that's in the S21 and S21 Ultra, all that kind of stuff. Current flagships that come out right now. But for now, the Oculus Quest 2 is what we have, and that runs on the XR2 chip based off of the 865 from last year. Then we go down to the Android SDK. The SDK and the Java and NDK locations are set as they need to be. It's on the latest SDKI level specific and an Android-19 NDK level. So this is the setup in project settings that you need. The next thing I need to show is my plugins that I have. I currently have the VR expansion plugin enabled, but not the OpenVR and not the OpenXR. And then I've also got, in virtual reality, the Oculus VR and the Steam VR plugins. So after I did that, I've created, like I said, the blueprints. This is just a simple kind of mesh blueprint, nothing to it. There's the cube and then the cylinder. Nothing to it at all. And then next, I created the game mode, which doesn't really do anything as of right now. It only stores the default pawn class, the character, so that way whenever you start up the level, on the player start, it'll load the default pawn that you have set up. The next thing that I have is, of course, the character. It is a VR character as part of the VR expansion plugin, so it's meant more for the VR stuff than it is a regular game that you'd play on a console or PC or whatever. Let's see. I don't think I have anything special enabled. Joystick at dead zone is 0.5, rotation angle, movement. Yeah, so there's nothing really special going on other than VR replicate capsule height is enabled. There's not much going on here at all. This is just the way it came. So as far as blueprints go, before I get into blueprints, for VR headsets, the reason why this is not in the center of the capsule, it's at the bottom, is because this is essentially set to floor height, and the capsule is supposed to be able to enable the height of the player based on where it's tracking from. And I'll show you how to set up the tracking so that way it'll show where you're at physically at height level in VR in the event graph. So on event begin play, it sets the tracking origin to the floor level. That's what I was talking about with the tracking. Whenever you go in to play it in VR, it'll actually be at your height rather than being at the floor. That's why the camera was set up the way it is in the capsule. Then I have the forward-backward movement, which is input axis motion controller, left thumb Y. Basically, the axis value is 0. It'll check that, branch it off if it's false, and add a movement input, which will then take the axis value and the movement speed, which we have set to 1. We've created that ourselves, or multiply that by 1, and it'll be scale value for how much is it moving, and then it takes the VR replicated camera, gets the forward vector, and you split it out to return these nodes. Then you make it into vector, and then make world direction. You do the same thing with the left-right axis, except you use the thumb left x-axis, and instead of get forward vector, it's get right vector. And that will affect your movement. You can see down here that there is another set of blueprints. This is supposed to be for moving the camera of your player left and right to look around in 45-degree increments, so you don't have to fully turn yourself around in VR to look a different direction. It just is more of a convenience. Unfortunately, it's not working as of yet, and that's one of the next big things I want to get working. As far as other things I want to do for this project before it's due, is I want to at least be able to get the character where it has hands and there's a sword you could pick up and grip, and be able to hit an enemy and do damage, and maybe even have the enemy also attack you and deal damage in that base level just for testing. Possibly maybe create a larger open world level, but I don't know if that'll be possible at this time. Given the time constraints I have, I ran into a lot of problems setting up this project initially over the weekend, trying to build it out to the headset. I'm glad that I started by testing if I could build the project out to the headset before doing any additional work, because I spent probably a good 15 to 20 hours or more of my own time just trying to figure out whatever problem there was when I was trying to make this project to set up for Oculus Quest 2 development. I did learn all the things that I needed to learn about what I did wrong and what I needed to do correctly to have it working. I do have a tutorial up about how to set up Oculus Quest 2 development in Unreal Engine, and I also have a tutorial for setting up the VR expansion plugin for Unreal Engine and having it work with the Oculus Quest 2. I will link those at the end of the video, but I'm also going to share with you some footage that I captured in headset from actually playing the game, or not really playing, but testing the game in-app on the headset, and it'll show me kind of looking around in the physical space. It'll also showcase me moving forward, backward, based on the direction of my head, also left and right, based on the direction of the head. The thumbstick movement is based on head direction, so you won't just move a singular, like if you're looking one direction, you just won't move straight and off in another direction. You'll move straight based on where you're looking, which I think helps out a lot. There are better ways of locomotion. There's a better way of locomotion coming out with a hip tracker from a company, but it hasn't been released yet officially to the public. There's like a creator edition that some YouTubers have gotten their hands on, and I'd like to eventually get my hands on that and see how hip tracking would work. But I'm not sure if Unreal will natively support that, or if they will have a plugin developed for Unreal. So for now, I'm just going to develop this plugin, or this VR RPG with what I have. You should be seeing the footage of the gameplay now, and that is all I have for you this evening. Thank you and have a great day.